Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Jeffrey Daniel again coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria. Today is May 16th, 2021, according to the Gregorian calendar. Now listen, I just want to thank all the people who are riding with me, giving me your feedback, allowing me to give you my perspective, getting your perspectives in return. I listen to you guys, and I've still got my lockdown beard, which is now officially, my beard is over a year old. I've never worn a beard this long before, and I'm liking it, I'm liking it, I'm not saying I'm cute or nothing like that, but I'm just saying I'm comfortable with it, I like the beard. I got used to it, okay. Anyway, we're still going through, it looks like things are starting to begin to try to get out of this pandemic. But we're not sure yet, but they're implementing things and, herd community, enough people getting vaccinated, enough people don't want to be vaccinated, whatever they're going through. They're starting to open up things. They want to open up schools and public places and things like that. And so, we'll see how things go. In the meantime, my condolences to anyone who has lost anyone during the pandemic, not even just the pandemic, just in general, just lost anyone in general. My condolences to all of you. And I hope we all get through this, you guys, because we're still riding through this together. We're all in this together. Okay, let me get my disclaimers out of the way. Anything I say and stand for is not meant to be discriminative against any race of people, any individual or group of people. However, I do bang on issues and systems, speaking truth to power, but not on individuals. I'm not here to go after people. I don't like going after people, And check this out, you guys. Before I get into today's topics, I would just like to address something. I'd like to respond to one of my viewers' comments about my commentaries being a bit lengthy. Now, I'm not in no way clapping back at her for doing this. In fact, I appreciate her critique, and I re-examined my deliveries. Then I looked at other prominent conscious leaders, speakers, and people who are on social media who have a very large viewership following. And to be honest, their commentaries were as long and longer than mine. Then I thought about it, and I realized that in this age of instant, fast takeout news and sound bites, it's almost impossible to microwave such detailed information, giving you actual dates and historical facts and pertinent and vital information that might save your life or make your life more aware and more informed, I mean, can you go to a college lecturer and request he cut to the chase and just get to the point so you can hurry up and take the test? And some topics are so provocative and volatile, some people have to be spoon-fed. Not everyone is on the same mental wavelength, And during my dissemination, I try to be as accurate and articulate as possible. Now, I know some platforms like TMZ, for instance, like TMZ or whatever, who specialize in flash reports and gossip, they can compress their reports into compact presentations because they're not dealing with such substantial, historical, and in-depth information. In fact, they want to hurry through their reports to make room for the next hot, big topics. So I ask you guys before to get comfortable, grab a drink of your choice or a snack, and ride with me as I take you on this information excursion, because you're not going to get this type of information anywhere else, okay? So now, I'm not just addressing the elephant in the room. I'm addressing the paint on the walls in the room. I'm addressing the interior decorator of the room, okay? And as I always say, I am not a news reporter, so I'm not here to just give you the news report. But I can't stop laughing about this Colonial Pipeline cyber attack that left several states from the East Coast to Texas with a fuel scarcity and a ransom note from the hackers. Pay us or else. And they specified payment in Bitcoin currency too. So, of course, it's not really a comical affair. But what I find humorous about this is it looks just like something straight out of a DC comic strip. You know how some diabolical scheme the Joker would cook up with and hold Gotham City hostage until his demands are met. Then, of course, Batman would swoop in and save the day. But what really helped to exasperate the whole situation was people's ill-guided reaction to the threat by suddenly panic buying up all the remaining gas from the pumps. People's fears created the actual gas shortage. Why are we placing highly sensitive data online in the first place, knowing damn well data can be stolen online and systems can be hacked? Why don't they create some type of a plan B system, some type of analog system, I don't know, pen to paper or typewriter, I don't know. Just putting everything online and entrusting everything there, knowing that things could be hacked, which they are being hacked. And this is what we're dealing with. So it was like the same thing people did by buying up all the toilet paper when coronavirus first hit. And to this day, I still cannot find a correlation between coronavirus and toilet paper to save my life. Was there any warnings from health professionals that COVID-19 attacks the ass? I'm sure some of you haven't been shopping for toilet paper for a year now. Be honest, because you guys were hoarding up on toilet paper when coronavirus first came out. I don't know. I'm starting to lose faith in humanity, you guys. If we get any further dumbed down, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. So you guys don't be quick to panic to things and go out and hoard shopping or rush to the gas pumps at that slightly. Get real concrete information, get substantial reports and hear what's really going on before you guys rush out there and panic, okay? That's all I gotta say. All right. Now, the name of this post is The Big Lie and Why Donald Trump Lost the Election. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I really want to talk about today, you guys, is the big lie. And this is something that is on the precipice of getting out of hand. And it's going to affect a lot of people, especially in America. But then I see that certain things that happen in America, certain policies and things that change there, it's a ripple effect, and other countries adapt to it too. So I think this is a very, very important post, you guys. So please ride with me, you guys. Check this out. Get that drink. Relax. It's not going to be too long. Come on, you guys. It's not like the Marvin Gaye long side of what's going on or something like that. Even though that's cool. That's cool. Oh, congratulations, Marvin Gaye, for the 50th anniversary of What's Going On. They even give it nods on CNN, you guys. So, you know, big up to Marvin Gaye, what's going on. And that message in that song is still so relevant and pertinent to what's going on today. Police brutality, poverty, inequality. Marvin Gaye was prophetic 50 years ago, you guys. So let's get to the big lie. Now, to answer why Donald J. Trump lost the 2020 presidential election is very cut and dry. So I'll just first present the figures. Then the reasons why he lost, okay? And I pray that a lot of Republicans are watching this post because, not to diss you guys, I'm not here, I tell you guys, I don't want to bang on people, but for you to be reminded of the real truths behind this stolen election fiasco. The figures show that Donald Trump won the 2016 elections by actually losing the popular vote to Hillary Clinton. With Trump receiving, here are the figures, Trump receiving over 62 million popular votes to Hillary's over 65 million popular votes. That was close, but Hillary won the popular votes. But Trump won by the electoral votes, 304 to Hillary's 227. So it's solely the electoral votes that got Donald Trump into the White House. So even though the popular votes were close, even though the popular votes were close, a woman whooped Trump's ass back in 2016. Think about that. The votes were close, but Hillary Clinton, she beat him in the popular votes at the polls. Hillary beat Donald at the polls. So let's be clear on this. Trump lost the popular votes in his first run for president of the United States in 2016. This is why it's so insane for him to claim unsubstantiated voter fraud against losing the popular votes again for a second time in the 2020 presidential elections. Then he blindsided you all by proclaiming all he does is win, win, and win no matter what, knowing damn well he lost to Hillary, save for the electoral votes. Now, let's look at the figures in 2020 presidential election. Trump lost the popular votes at over 62 million to Biden's over 81 million popular votes. You see? And Trump lost the electoral votes at 332 to Biden's 306. Okay? So the electoral votes, Trump got 232 and Biden got 306 electoral votes for his victory. So in 2020, Trump lost both the popular and the electoral votes and suffered a bruised ego that won't allow him to accept his defeat till this day. So these are the figures on his double popular vote defeats. Now let's examine the reason why Trump lost so embarrassingly to sleepy Joe Biden in the 2020 presidential elections, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with reason number one, okay? Reason number one, the voting public did not turn out in record numbers back in 2016, as they were torn between not wanting to see the Clintons return back into the White House again and not taking a reality show actor / so-called real estate tycoon seriously. It really wasn't a robust enough campaign to get your party or swing voters to the polls. But for those who did have faith in either candidate, came out to vote, and they voted Hillary Clinton over Donald J. Trump in the polls. But thanks to the ambiguous system called electoral votes, Trump was elected. Reason number two, after witnessing the brash and vile behavior of an egotistical, narcissistic, solipsistic, and rude president defile the office of the U.S. president, voters came out in record numbers in order to get his embarrassing ass out of the White House and prevent him from further ruining the country. Trump single-handedly exasperated the whole COVID-19 crisis by attacking members of the very COVID task force that he himself assembled, claiming that he knew more than the medical, scientific, and virology professionals, ignoring their advice and eventually canceling the COVID-19 press briefings, as cases had started to soar exponentially higher, causing an easily avoidable infection and death rate to climb out of control. Now, if I want to be fair, I can say that Trump was not the only reason for the deaths to culminate, but I can honestly say that Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States of America, helped to make matters worse, much worse than they had to be. He failed miserably in leadership and had no concise plan or direction of how to save his country's citizens from the worst pandemic to hit America since the HIV/AIDS epidemic back in the 1980s. Donald J. Trump not only lost the confidence of the citizens of the United States of America, but also of the leaders of the global international communities. His popularity dwindled down in poll numbers considerably as his presidency ran its course. By November 2020, 55% disapprove of Trump's performance. By December 2020, 57%. And by January 2021, 62% disapprove of Trump's performance. But check this out. Trump never held a higher than a 49% approval rating throughout his entire presidency, unlike the previous president, Barack Obama, who held a 68% approval rating, and Joe Biden now has a 63% approval rating. Love it or hate it, these are the hardcore facts. Trump couldn't get higher than a 49% approval rating to Obama's 68% and Biden's current 63%. These are facts, you guys. But this guy is losing his mind like, there's no way I could have lost this election. This is what he's going through. So Trump was gravely mistaking his rally turnout audience numbers for being the voice of the majority of America. Yes, he had fanatic supporters, no doubt. And those fanatic supporters are still drinking his Kool-Aid today. But not all Republican voters are fanatic Trump supporters. And we have to remember that. So, okay, we can't put that on all Republicans. I always say that, all right? Then there's the number 3 reason why Trump lost the elections in 2020 for his second term. Age demographic. Can we say that together? Age demographics. Since 2016, a whole new generation of voters came of age, making them eligible to vote, who were too young to vote in 2016. And they voted in huge number for Biden and Kamala Harris, making Kamala the very first female vice president in American history. Apparently, Sleepy Joe's warm and affectionate fatherly image appealed to younger voters more than Trump's vociferous hyperbole and name-calling tactics to be the leader of their country. All right? Now, people, family, friends, and foe, there's no other way to say it. Trump got trumped out of the White House. But his ego is so inflated that he cannot fathom the reality that he actually lost to the man he dubbed Sleepy Joe, the worst candidate ever to run for the office of the presidency. Now, he came out with all this, abuses and all these claims and his hyperbole and all this vociferous attacks against Joe Biden. And he put his foot in his own mouth and had to eat his own words to the public. And this is what's got this guy so unhinged. This is what's got this guy, And to be honest, you guys, Joe Biden might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he is a much more appreciated human being than Donald Trump. And he does have a concise strategies and plans trying to help American citizens out of this pandemic and economic slump. Now, you can agree or disagree with Biden, but he does present a comprehensive plan, not just saying, oh, we got something really big coming in a couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, in a couple of weeks. I can't tell you what it is now, but it's going to be so big. You're not going to believe it. How big it's going to be. Bigly, hugely. I'm telling you. Is that how a president is supposed to address his citizens, with vague, opaque, ambiguous, and empty promises? And this is how Trump was addressing you guys. Go back. It's documented. It's on film. We've got the man performing like this in the seat of the President of the United States of America. So now the Republican lawmakers are banking their party's reputation on the big lie that a defeated Donald Trump created, just as an excuse for him losing the elections. Trump had started the lie earlier in 2020, claiming that the only way he would lose the coming election would be due to massive voter fraud. He knew back then that he had a very slim chance, if any, to win a second term as president, you guys. So my only question is, and this is the only question I have. Hold on, you guys. Let me get a sip real quick. What the whistle? Oh, the fast is over, you guys. I completed the Ramadan fast, and I feel so invigorated. I feel so positive. I just feel, my mind is like sharper. My mind is bright. My soul is lifted. I was praying for all of us, you guys, all of us, okay? I was praying for all of us during my Ramadan prayers, okay? So that's all I'm expecting. I'm anticipating positivity from now on, okay? Things are going to get better, you guys. Keep the faith, okay? Let's go. All right, so my only question is, why hasn't Donald Trump been arrested for sedition and an insurrection coup attempt? This is very strange to me. Now, although his social media access has been canceled or postponed, he's still going around to public gatherings denouncing and challenging the legitimacy of the current sitting elected president of the United States. There are laws against such seditious behavior, and Donald Trump is violating them on a daily basis. And after the insurrection coup attempt on January 6th, why haven't they arrested the man? Think about it. If I were to stage the same insurrectionist event against the American government, especially causing 5 deaths and the illegal entry and destruction of federal government property, I'd be singing the best of Luther Vandross in a prison cell, just to hear my voice echo off the brick walls. Never too much, never too much, never too much, never too much. I mean, I'm serious. we get booked and taken down for the most simplest thing. This is one of the most highest treasonous crimes you could commit against the American government. A coup attempt, an insurrection? Come on, you guys. How can they be allowed to treat this treasonous attack like, well, shit happens? And this is how the Republicans are acting about it. Actually, the Republicans are coming out saying, oh no, January 6th was like any other tourist day of people coming into the Capitol for a visit. So any other day, people are smashing the windows to get in. People are attacking and gassing the Capitol Hill patrol officers. People are storming into the Senate room, calling out the names of the members of Congress. That happens every day. Look how these guys are just flipping everything over, trying to turn it into lies. As I said before, Donald Trump created this system of keep telling a lie until it becomes a truth. You guys keep telling a lie until it becomes a truth. And this is what they're running on. So now, let me tell you what happened. They are getting away with this insurrection. Actually, they're not, because they've arrested quite a few of the guys and they're looking for other ones, okay? But they're trying to let Trump get away from it, okay? But yet, a black female lawmaker was arrested for just knocking on the governor's door as he was in the middle of signing an act to restrict voters' access, affecting mainly people of color in the polls of Georgia. All she carried was her handbag, and look how quickly they cuffed and arrested her. A woman and a lawmaker who wasn't even trespassing in the building. The woman had access to even be in the building. Damn, these racial double standards. All she did was knocked on the door. They quickly cuffed her and arrested her. But yet, they weren't arresting people at the insurrection. After the insurrection, then they caught up with people on social media networks and stuff and went out, and policemen died. 4 other people died. Destruction of property. Storming into the citadel of capital of democracy. And they didn't want to arrest anyone. But a black lawmaker, not just a citizen, not just somebody stumbling in off the street. She is a lawmaker. She was arrested for knocking on the door. And now the lie becomes the law. The Republican Party is no longer governed by a moral compass. The truth, honor, and integrity that the Constitution was supposedly composed with has deteriorated. You guys, sad to say. The Republican lawmakers are making very insidiously harmful decisions. And once they commit to pulling that trigger, you cannot take bullets back once they're fired. They're even attacking high-ranking members of their own party who don't agree with the big lies. You guys been watching the news, what's going on? Why is there not some independent agency with checks and balances in effect in America to help keep extreme movements from taking over the government? This is what I don't understand. So all they're doing is reporting what the Republicans are doing, but nobody's doing nothing about it. But yet if we citizens do something like that, but they'd rain hell's fire on us. And all the Democrats are doing is calling out what they're doing. All the news agencies are doing is reporting what they're doing, but nobody's doing nothing about it. Restricting voter access in multiple states now. Trying to call the insurrection just another day at the job. The Republican Party has morphed into an extreme right wing, and they still herald Donald Trump as their leader. It's the first time an exposed and disposed former leader has been exonerated by his own party after his disgraceful defeat, except for Adolf Hitler. Okay, let me say that again. It's the first time an exposed and disposed former leader has been exonerated by his own party after his disgraceful defeat, except for Adolf Hitler. Let me tell you guys this again. Once again, I must remind you all of a video I posted a few months ago. I warned if Trump was not taken out of the political arena and allowed to stay in power, I fear we may see the same repeat of history that brought Hitler to the helm of power in Germany. Hitler tried to stage a coup against Germany and failed. He was jailed for his crimes, but upon his release from prison, he gathered his extremist radical groups and formed the notorious Nazi Party and came back with a vengeance, destroying all democratic institutions, making Germany a war state. The Republicans are just totally, they're just, anything that's democratic, they're just totally omitting it right now. Guys, this is the same path that's happening again. And Trump is willing to destroy American democracy just to stay in the White House. I hope you all are paying attention. You far-right Republicans playing with the devil will only get burnt in the end. And remember how tragically it turned out in the end for the Nazi leaders and Hitler himself. Although I really don't believe Hitler committed suicide. But that kind of control might last for a season, but in the end, it's ultimately defeated. The Atlantic slave trade came to an end. The colonization of African nations and other Asian nations came to an end. And as I warned you all in my previous post, if the Western governments don't stop abusing the people of color in the world, their nations will end too. And we already see it coming apart at the seams now in real time. It's happening, you guys. We got to get right with each other, you guys. It's that time. I told you we went into this pandemic. I said that it was the universal law putting everything on hold and on pause. And we all had a chance to come out of this better, healthier, wiser, more human, more empathetic, more equal, more stronger together. Or we're all just going to go down still fighting. Now, looking forward, I'm thinking about the aftermath of this pandemic. How will we restructure our lives and society when this is all over? Now, I don't know if you guys can feel me on what I'm about to disseminate to you right now, but I want you guys to really roll with me on this, okay? You guys really roll with me on this one, okay? Because I told you, my perspicacity, I think outside of the box, and I try to get a bird's eye view and try to get a better perspective on things. I don't like to just be inside of it and just responding to it, but we need to get outside of it, you guys. So roll with me on this, you guys. Roll with me on this, okay? Here we go. Can I offer a piece of advice, or shall I say, give you something to consider? We have to think more generationally about race relations in our societies, or we'll continue going in the same circles generation after generation. Are we not still dealing with the same racial and social issues that Marcus Garvey was? Are the same racial issues that Martin Luther King Jr. was? Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Nelson Mandela, and the list goes on as generations progress. So how do we break this cycle? It's occurred to me that a lot of people are being blamed for the sins of their ancestors unjustifiably. For instance, how many times have people of color brought certain subjects out into the open just to feel perturbed when a white person says, well, I'm not racist, or I didn't do that to black people? And we get pissed because we assume they're all on the same team because they're members of that same race. But I can attest personally that this just isn't always the case. Now, before you open up a diatribe on me, okay? Before you guys open up a diatribe on me, I'm just as, if not more, pro-black as anyone can be. So please don't think I'm just trying to let people off the hook, okay? I'm just saying we have to accept and be accepted for who we are, not by the negative things our ancestors did, unless we're still participating in it, of course. If you're still just blatantly benefiting from it and still participating in it, okay, you guys, all right, then, yeah, okay. But, and that works both ways for us too, you know. They have to get rid of that image of us as, you know, used to be slaves or ghetto-dwelling drug dealers and other negative social stereotypes that generalize the characteristics of a whole race. Just like when police pull over a car of black men and assume they must be a gang or leaving the scene of a crime. These are all negative racial stereotypes. We have to realize that a lot of white people really don't know our detailed histories. but we assume they do because we live in the same countries. And I can name a plethora of historical incidents involving black people that black themselves are not aware of. So much has been omitted from general history books and even oral discussions. We have to keep educating each other. This is all down to a lack of education of our histories, you guys. We have to keep educating each other of our histories. And for those racist whites who are still trying to cling onto a dying world, just lead them to their misery, you guys. Their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. And then, think about it. How many white parents in the days do you think were willing to tell their children that they participated in the lynching or murder of a black person? Or they participated in anti-black rights protests? We have to realize that many younger white people really don't know about and are not in agreement with anti-black policies. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger's. His father was a member of the Nazi Party. Did you guys know that? Arnold Schwarzenegger's father was a member of the Nazi Party. But should Arnold Schwarzenegger himself be accountable for that? Okay, as I said before, it took the involvement of Europeans to help with the abolition of slavery, although they created it. Whites were marching alongside Martin Luther King Jr., and if not for those high-profile white celebrities, maybe Martin Luther King Jr. marches would not have gained national attention and worldwide attention. So you see, them coming together with us and helping us in our cause helped make our cause more substantiated, more recognized, more taken serious by the powers that be. Some whites wanted to join Malcolm X, but were rejected. And of course, we saw many whites, not just nationally, but internationally in the George Floyd protests. So what I'm really getting at is this, you guys. If we are to survive in societies and global markets run predominantly by other races, it may behoove us to join forces with those who are genuine in their efforts to stand with us. It's just the old philosophy. There's strength in numbers. Because I don't see any one race leaving this planet anytime soon. And I'm thinking forward for our children and their children and their children's children. That's who we need to think for, you know? And I'm not naively thinking we need other races to help solve our own internal problems. We still have issues that only we need to solve. But for those issues that are more universal and are confluent with other races, we need to learn to build alliances that make it equally beneficial or commensurate for all races involved. And that's the bottom line in a nutshell. Equality, equity, equilibrium, eye to eye, commiseration. Now, when I use the word commensurate, do you guys understand that word commensurate? I always like to give you guys some other words to help with your vocabulary. Commensurate is when things are corresponding in size and degree in equal measure. That's when something is commensurate, okay? And that's what we need, you know? So if the early Europeans had conducted equal and fair trade deals with Africa and other nations of rich resources in consumerate, could you imagine how great the world would be right now? Definitely Africa would be like Wakanda in the movie Black Panther, you know. World peace is not just a slogan. It has to be effectively pursued and implemented with real strategic and tangible results. And hey, I don't know. I'm just looking for solutions to try and end these generational cycles that remain in perpetual motion generations after generations, because ain't nothing changed much. Some things have changed here and there, but we don't need like a here and there change on the surface. We need the core of things to change. We need things to change from within, you know, that inward change, you know, the outward sign. But that inward change is what we need, you know? And some things that appear to have changed were just being washed over, but later exposed. So let me know what you all think about it. You know, it's just food for thought. I'm just trying to be your voice of reason. Like I said before, you don't have to agree with me. We can agree to disagree, or you can give me your perspective. Your perspective might even alter mine if it's a better perspective, you know? So this is what we're here for, you guys. Let's exchange with each other. And let's keep riding with each other, you guys, until this thing is over with, until we all defeat this, not just the pandemic, not just coronavirus, not just the economic stress, not just racial inequality. Let's defeat everything, you guys. And I'm doing this now for my children and my grandchildren and their children and their children. That's what I'm doing it for now. It's not doing it just for me. I'm not thinking about me right now. I'm thinking about the next generations that are coming up. And I'm sure you all love your children too, okay? So I'm gonna let you guys get back to your regular scheduled program. And until the next time, you guys, please stay safe. Whatever you're gonna do, if you're gonna take those injections, if you're not gonna take them, if you're gonna do the test, you're gonna, whatever you're going to do, you guys keep the mask on, whatever it needs to keep you safe. Talk to your medical professionals. Talk to these people. They will help guide you for all the things that we're apprehensive about, that we don't understand, and that, we don't trust, you guys. Keep yourselves alive and keep checking on your loved ones. Keep checking on your friends, making sure that people aren't falling into depression from all of this, okay? As we're now trying to climb back out of this. We're about to make it. We're about to make it. So it seems, so it looks like it, okay? Keep your eye on what's happening in American politics, because it's getting nasty and dirty. It's a knockdown, drag-out fight going on between the Republicans right now, among themselves, and then the Republicans against the Democrats. So, wow. I guess you guys like a good boxing match. So there you have it, the political WW1, or whatever they call it. Anyway, you guys, as I always say, make love great again, because we will all be great. Keep spreading the love. I love you all very much. And until the next time, you guys, always remember, the big lie cannot last forever.